You're tuned in to the Kansas City Weather Report, your daily source for the latest local forecast right here in KC. Whether you're planning your commute, weekend barbecue, or just trying to figure out if you need that extra layer, Wes has you covered. So let's dive into today's forecast.
Welcome to the Kansas City Weather Report. I'm meteorologist Wes Peary. Today's Wednesday, August 26th, and here is what's up with the weather. Okay, I got some good news, and I have some bad news. The good news is a cold front is coming through this morning, and we're going to have some fantastic feeling mornings ahead of us. The bad news, that precedes a heat wave. Yeah, it's looking like there is going to be a heat wave from this weekend through much of next week. So let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy, I guess you can take either one of those. If you love hot weather, enjoy the heat wave, a couple of cool feeling fall days. That should just be awesome. Here we go. Let's get into it. Now, you may be stepping out the door this morning and you're like, oh, what are you talking about? It's still really humid. There is no cold front. It's coming, all right. It's on its way through. You may not really feel the effects of it until around or after lunchtime, because out the door this morning, temperatures are still like 75 to 80 degrees. Still pretty humid. But as the sky begins to clear out, you can watch this. As the sky begins to clear out, that is drier air coming in. Lunchtime, it's still like 85 degrees, and there's still some humidity, but it's on the way down. And I think by the time you're headed home from work, that's when you at least notice that the humidity is lower and there's a northerly breeze. But I don't know, again, if you'll believe me when I am telling you there's a cold front, because the high today is actually going to end up being warmer than what it was yesterday. Yesterday, it was only in the middle to upper 80s. Today, it'll be like near 90 degrees. And the heat index, might just sit in the lower 90s from roughly lunchtime through the afternoon, because the humidity is going down, the temperature is going up slightly, so they sort of cancel each other out. But I think for dinner time, if you can stand a warm evening, a northerly breeze, temperatures, again, will still be in the middle to upper 80s, but lower humidity should help you out. And then for tonight into Thursday morning, it's going to be like 60 to 65 degrees. When you get out the door tomorrow morning, it'll probably be closer to 65, but this will be comparable to what happened earlier this week, which it felt really comfortable outside, albeit it'll come with some sunshine instead of the cloud cover. Fantastic mornings. Highs for tomorrow and Friday, 85 to 90 degrees. There's low humidity, so we don't use the heat index. And Friday morning, there may be some spots around the metro that have low temperatures in the upper 50s. Downtown, lower 60s, and that means generally once you get away from concrete and metal, if you're in some of those neighborhoods, that are a little bit removed from the core of downtown and maybe the core of parts of Johnson County, and you have a more tree lush neighborhood, you may be in the 50s on Friday morning. It's going to feel great. Friday looks like a perfect day. Great day overall, which actually works out very well because there's a Chiefs game on Friday evening, and that looks sweet. I think the game's at 7, 82 degrees at kickoff, low humidity, an east-southeasterly breeze, not even like blowing that much. Oh man, it's going to be perfect. I'm actually going to that game. So as I'm realizing this forecast, I'm like, oh yeah, that's going to be so much better than the other preseason game. Granted, the other preseason game, it was just really humid and we had some cloud cover. This one looks like, just for late August standards, perfection. Best day of the weekend is going to be Saturday. I can easily tell you that because the humidity will still stay relatively low. It'll have some cloud cover to it, especially for the first half of the day, but it's still going to get up to about 90 degrees there. And then from roughly Sunday through gosh, man, seeing things that say Friday, I don't want to believe that, but I actually do believe that. It really might be like 95 degrees Sunday through Friday of next week. The humidity gradually starts to creep up. Like we're not going to be having a heat index that is 110. But if it's 95, it's not going to take much to get the heat index to be near 100. And like that might happen here. Especially around Sunday through Tuesday. But the humidity gradually creeps up. May not even get quite as high as actually what it was yesterday, but still, I mean, like 95 and partly cloudy. I mean, it's still pretty warm, okay? So I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be a comfortable 95 degrees. I don't think that really exists unless you're like in a desert and it's windy and the air is super dry. Then like sweat is actually a productive process or a more productive process to cool off your body. So we'll see about that. There are hints of rain around Monday and Tuesday. I'm not going to quite buy into those hints yet. But generally Thursday into Friday, that's when this heat is going to try to break. We're a week away from that, so it's kind of tough to see, but that's when at least there is some indication amongst all of our fancy schmancy weather models to try and get a cold front coming through around then. But I mean, for now, you should just plan on all of next week being pretty hot in the afternoon, and the mornings, we'll see if we can get below 75. But it's going to be pretty dang close every morning to bottoming out near 75 degrees. So, make sure your AC is still running pretty well. Nice and tuned up, filter out all the dust and the pollens. In fact, the Kansas City Allergy and Asthma Associate pollen count for today, go to kcallergy.com to get the pollen count yourself or to see someone that knows how to help you with your allergies. Has the mold and has the grass/weed count both in the moderate phase. It is ragweed. It is ragweed season. If you're a ragweed sufferer, here we go. We're in it. Take your allergy pills, your nasal sprays, and all that good stuff. And the mold is still there. I woke up again this morning to more fresh mold popped out of my ground. Wherever it's a little soggy in the ground and it has some shade and it's damp, those are the spots generally where the mold tries to show up. Both of those in the moderate range. And I don't really foresee that changing very much through at least Saturday. So if your ragweed is bothering you pretty bad, call my friends at the Kansas City Allergy and Asthma Associates. 3 offices, OP, LS, and Olathe. Olathe doesn't have an OKS, maybe? Olathe, Kansas? They don't really have an abbreviation. I digress. There does appear to be a dip in the pressure, though. Pretty steady overall through Saturday. A decent little dip in pressure trying to come through around Sunday as the wind out of the south increases. So that's lowering pressure Sunday and onward. And that means it's going to be pretty warm overall. We're doing good, with moisture, which is part of the reason why we have mold issues and there's spores popping out of the ground. So I'm hopeful that the recent heavy rainfall from last week will help keep the super high heat at bay and at least give us some cloud cover, which looks to be the case. And we may be partly cloudy from roughly Saturday through next week, hoping to hold the super high heat at bay somewhat. Recapping the forecast. The humidity goes down this afternoon, but it's still going to be like 90 for a high, 85 to 90 for Thursday and Friday, a couple of very comfortable mornings. Clouds come back for Saturday, about 90 for Saturday, and then highs near 95. Sunday through Friday, with maybe something trying to pass through around Monday and Tuesday night, and then again on Thursday and Friday. But if you need some dry time, it's looking pretty good through Monday. Thank you so much for joining me for this edition of the Kansas City Weather Report. And you can find me on social media at West Weather. Have a good one.
Aug.